swear that's greatness. You look into my eyes, you can see what I see. If you can say the world won't be the same without me, then we call that greatness. And that's a blessing. But wait a second. Look, while we on the subject, let me ask a question.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Uzzi Sports Show. I'm Jared Veluzzi, and the New York Catholic High School Football League, 4 weeks down, and the postseason is just around the corner. And throughout the first 4 weeks, a lot of players have been making a name for themselves. And today, we'll be breaking down the top player from each position throughout these 4 weeks, and a couple breakthrough players. And, we'll start on the offensive end of things with two big breakout guys. We'll start at Archbishop Steppenwolf. Deshaun Allen at wide receiver has been terrific for the Crusaders. He had a touchdown against Iona Prep last week, but what he did against Kellenberg really opened up a lot of people's eyes. He can beat people by running some superior routes, but also if you just hand the ball off to this kid, he can make people miss. So elusive, so quick. Deshaun Allen, the sophomore for Steppenwolf, has been terrific. And one more breakout player on the offensive end, St. Anthony's, they've had a couple guys. Frank Ruta's been terrific at running back. He's a sophomore. Ian Strong as a defensive back, another sophomore who's been great. But the player I'm highlighting is sophomore wide receiver Kenyon Miles. And what he did against Chaminade, absolutely torching his corner in the fourth quarter. And when St. Anthony started throwing the ball, they started looking at number 13's way, and boy, could Kenyon Miles go up and get it. The kid played terrific in the fourth quarter, had a big touchdown against Chaminade, and throughout the rest of the season, really watch out for the super sophomore receiver from St. Anthony's to play great. And now we go to the quarterback position. And a couple AA guys have been playing well. Thomas Luca at Kellenberg has been awesome. Clayton Proctor at Kennedy Catholic has also been pretty solid as well. But the guy over at Iona Prep, Darius Wilson, has got to be one of the best quarterbacks in the state so far. As Wilson, he does it with his arms, he does it with his legs. He is really the full package over there for Iona Prep. And you look at the first game, what he did against Kellenberg, he really threw all over them. But then against St. Anthony's, where they have a pretty good secondary, Wilson did it with his legs. Darius Wilson, he's just gotten it done in every aspect so far from the quarterback position. Definitely the top quarterback in the AAA so far. And now we're going to go to the running back position. And there's really two guys that stick out from the rest right now. Mario Fascetti from Chaminade has been phenomenal. It seems like he does most of the work on that offense, and he balled out against Holy Trinity. Against St. Anthony's, he had those 2 touchdowns. He's been terrific. He really knows how to make people miss, extremely slippery, and really hasn't missed a beat from his terrific junior season. But then we look at actually a kid he's going to play against next week. It's Jaden Jenkins from Steppenwolf. And Jenkins, the West Point commit, has been terrific as well. Super explosive. We saw his long touchdown against St. Anthony's. He's a tough runner. He ran hard against Iona Prep, making some great plays. And honestly, I think this award is going to be decided when these two face off next week, who really is the top running back right now, as Fascetti's put up some great numbers, but Jenkins is really one of the best athletes, if not the best athlete, in the entire NYCHSFL. Definitely look out for this matchup on Saturday between Jenkins and Fascetti, a battle of the running backs for sure. And now we go to the wide receiver position. And when you go to Iona Prep and you talk about receivers, they have a lot of options. Alex Williams, Justin Jolly, Will Stone, and even Jarrell Washington get some touches at running back and receiver. But the one guy that has really stood out for me has been Justin Jolly. Not only does he have the most receptions, he has had 3 scores as well, and he is really the full package at the wide receiver position. Darius Wilson can throw it up to him, and he can come down with it. Or, as the Gales love to do, that little shovel pass play where they give it to Jolly short, and man, he could really take it a long way. Just a really, really good athlete. And Jolly, just a junior, has made some terrific plays this season, and man, I can only imagine what he's going to do his senior year. Jolly, for Iona Prep, has been the top wide receiver so far in the NYCHSFL. And now we're going to look at the offensive line. We're going to stay with Iona Prep. They've had the best offense in this league by far. It's going to be Kevin Rode for the Gales, as he has been a great, great left tackle for Iona Prep, owning every matchup so far. It seems like that he's went against, and he has played terrific for Iona Prep, really protecting Wilson. He's been a pancake machine just like the rest of that offensive line, and the Gales have done a great job protecting Wilson, especially with Kevin Rode as 2-time captain, 3-year varsity starter. He's really doing his thing his senior season. And now we're going to look at the defensive end of things. We're going to start out on the defensive line. And Iona Prep, they've really owned things over there too. Taj McDowell's been terrific, but we're actually going to go to a double-A player who has been terrific and maybe one of the best defensive linemen in this league. We're going to look at Elijah Tobin for Holy Trinity. And a defensive tackle, obviously that position, they're not going to put up the monster stats. They're not going to have a gazillion tackles. But he has been fighting double teams all season. He has been a matchup nightmare, fighting through those double teams, making tackles. In week 1 against St. John's, he was truly a force. I believe he forced a fumble and had a really good goal line stop. Tobin, he has multiple D1 offers for a reason. Definitely the top player on that Holy Trinity defensive line. He has made some terrific plays all year long for the Titans. Now we're going to go to the linebacker position. And this one's pretty interesting because when we talk about linebackers, immediately you're going to think of the St. Anthony's Friars with that linebacking core that has played terrific so far this season. You know, they went against Jaden Jenkins over at Steppenwolf. They went against Mario Fascetti, and they did a terrific job against both of them. Andrew Bardak played the game of his life against Chaminade, slowing down Mario Fascetti. Bardak played really well, but then you also look at the other two linebackers. Kieran McKenna and Matt Moss have been balling for St. Anthony's. And we talk about that Steppenwolf game, and even the Iona Prep game, McKenna and Moss made a ton of plays. McKenna has been great in pass coverage, and Matt Moss has been a tackling machine for the Friars. You look at those great linebackers, but there's one linebacker in this league that really stands out from the rest. We're going to Archbishop Steppenwolf. It's Alex Garbowsky, the middle linebacker, who has been truly the true machine of the entire state when it comes to this position. 42 tackles in 3 games. He also has 6 sacks as well. And we talked about Iona Prep's offensive line, how they've been so steady, so solid. But when the Gales went against Garbowsky, it was a different story. He dominated that game. I believe 14 or 15 tackles, had 3 sacks against Darius Wilson. And Garbowsky, an absolute machine. He was injured his sophomore and junior year, but man, does this kid look better than ever. Watch out for him to get some college offers soon. Now we're going to go to the defensive back position. And we're going to stay at Steppenwolf. And actually, we're going to talk about a St. Anthony's Friar as well. It's going to be Rafael, Fasolino, and Dante Antoine for St. Anthony's, as both corners have been terrific so far. You haven't seen a lot of quarterbacks throw on them this season. For Fasolino, he has broke up a ton of passes. He has been a tackling machine as well, making some great plays. And when you look at Dante Antoine for the Friars, it seems like the quarterback just throws away from his direction on every single play. Antoine's also made some great tackles. He has been great for St. Anthony's. And we're going to take a look at a breakthrough star, actually, on the defensive end this season. He's also a cornerback. He's from Iona Prep, and his name is Ellis Robinson, the freshman, as he has played terrific for Iona Prep. He doesn't look like a freshman, that's for sure, and he certainly doesn't play like one, as he's got to be one of the top cornerbacks in his class in the entire country, because he is absolutely phenomenal. He's shut down some great receivers. Boy, this kid can hit as well, and he has played terrific for the Gales. But now, as we wrap this up, I'm going to take a look at, in my opinion, the most valuable player in this league so far throughout the first 4 weeks. In my opinion, the most impressive. It's going to be someone from Iona Prep, of course, as they are 4-0. It's going to be Ethan Robinson, the defensive back. You can play corner, you can play safety. He also has played some offense as well. The kid has been terrific for Iona Prep. Give him the ball, he's making plays. We've seen it a couple times this season. But on the defensive end is really where he does it. Such a hard hitter. He can make a play on the ball. He's broke up a ton of passes so far. He's made some great tackles. Ethan Robinson, the Bucknell commit, has certainly been awesome for Iona Prep and, in my opinion, the top player in this league. Everybody, I'm Jared Veluzzi. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. Smash that like button, follow me on Twitter, and make sure to subscribe. Thank you for tuning in. Have a good one.